Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're most welcome. A bit more of that, I think. There we go. Just going to wait for a few more people to show up, and then I shall start talking to you. Okie doke. Good afternoon. We are live. So, team news for those of you what wants it. Ange Ball is back with a bang. Where's the fucking team news then? Hey. It's on the other machine. Just a moment. That's more like it. Right, here we go. Stop being a tease. Yeah, Ange Postecoglou. Extraordinary. Ange Ball's back with a bounce, with a bang. Pretty bloody dreadful performance. Thumped 3-0 by the Arsenal, which nobody wants. Nottingham Forest had just one shot on target, one shot in the first half, and one shot on target in the entire game. Simply not good enough. And Murillo played 36 games last season under Nuno Espirito Campo. What's his name? And 30 minutes of Ange Ball, croaked. I mean, we'll see how severe it is. But let's look at the team. So slick, isn't it? It's almost like it was worth paying for. So, no particular order. Vicario, Palina, Xavi, Tel, Bergvall, Romero, captain. Kudus, Pedro Porro, Spencer, and Van der Ven. Gives us 3 attacking players. But leaves us with Odebert, Bentancur, Kolo Muani, and Richarlison on the bench, joined by Dancer, Johnson, Kinski, and Odoji. It's all going to be about the tactics today. It's all going to be about the tactics. We don't want to tolerate another Bournemouth. That's for certain. Game doesn't start until 1:30, and I'm going to hit you with some propaganda while we wait for that to come on. Just turn this down so I can hear myself think. There's stuff coming out about Levy, and a good few people are going to be very uncomfortable with it. One aspect is that Harry Kane is probably going to be coming back at some point. Player has a desire to come back. This comes from somebody close to the family. And none of the spurious nonsense that was doing the rounds almost from the moment he landed sausage side. When he left Spurs, and I have this on tremendous authority, when he left Spurs, he was told that all of his anticipated bonuses and all the rest of it would have to go in the dustbin, and he wasn't going to get paid out. Levy did the old cardboard box full of personal effects as well. So the relationship between those two men at the end was not good. And the sooner that people get round that and understand that, so all this mealy-mouthed pish about unfinished business and all the rest of it, there is no unfinished business on Levy's side. He's out the game. The man who's in the game is Harry Kane, and he has a desire to come back to Spurs. It's as straightforward as that. So Matt Law in the Telegraph, like I say, coverage starts when the game starts, which is at past. So I'm just going to hit you with some propaganda. Law has got a lot of things right here. I can tell you, Peter Charrington executed the internal review, immediately got rid of Donna Cullen. I warned you about this business of what the hell was she doing in Hong Kong. That did not sit well with anybody at the club, didn't sit well with anybody at all. It was a favour gifted to her by Daniel, and waste of space, absolute waste of space. So she went, and Peter Charrington did the work, and the real problem here, and even the Levy fanatics are going to have to cede some ground on this one. Levy was feathering his own nest. And I'm going to go into this tomorrow on the Three Amigos with Tony and Chris. But he was trimming the wage bill to an extent whereby it was taking us in the opposite direction of a club that wants to really do business with its competitors, wants to attack, be a nuisance. And you just can't do it. You can't run with that kind of economy. You need to pay people what they're worth. And it's all very well saying, oh yes, but it isn't good enough. And these are all reasons why he went. Nothing he was doing stacked up to much scrutiny. I'd been going on to you for years about his wastefulness with money and his penny pinching. And it's as if those two ideas were incongruous together. And thankfully, a lot of people have woken up to what was going on. But more importantly, the Lewis family are the drivers of this, which is just tremendous. So that's the wages. Investment, there's 100 million coming. Where's that coming from then? And let me be specific to you, subject to the ducks in a row, this is coming for the January window. I know we've heard it all before, but when we heard it all before, we heard it under Levy. I'm willing to give the Lewis family a go. And the punchline on the whole thing is coming up very, very shortly. The 100 million is coming from a 90 million deal that was announced previously this week by Bloomberg. And it's selling rights, it's stuff that's yet to materialise as cash money, but it's coming. So the idea is to commit that immediately into player resources, which I couldn't be happier. Now, the crucial thing here is, and I think it's been a massive distraction, and this is one of the things we discovered with the whole, Jimmy Savile thing, the hiding in plain sight. Oh yes, it's all going back into the club. We're looking to do this, we're looking to do this. What you're looking to do is feather your own nest, and this is why the Lewises have got rid of you. They don't want to sell. Who did selling the club benefit? Well, arguably it benefited all of them because they all had shares. But this is one guy who stood to get a cash payout in his 60s. He'd never have to lift a pencil again, and I don't think he probably does anyway, but people, they don't know when they've got enough money. That's the reality of the situation. He loves scraping the maximum return on players he sold, but he was selling players either too late or never at all. So when he was buying, he always got or erred on the side of trying to get the right price, the maximum cash input, which is hurrah. But there were players that just died in the luxury spa facility. And that makes no business sense whatsoever. The list of players that were eventually ejected after contributing little to nothing is pretty much endless. Just see the chat here. Oh, there we go. There's people coming on the thing. Sorry if I'm not returning, getting back to players and all the rest of it. But comments and so forth. But yeah, Baldylocks did did get greedy, and that's why he got the chop. He ended up with no porridge and no bed to sleep in. Straightforward as that. I've concluded my piece with "Well done, Daniel. We always knew that you would go to karaoke song." What the hell? Oh, it's a Q&A sticker. No thanks. We always knew he'd reveal himself, and thankfully he did. So we're not going to be stuck with him interfering, having taken his cut. And then, this was the deal with Levy. You'll miss me when I'm gone. No, we won't. But we could have missed you when you're gone had you sold us to some Bond villains. And I think his idea was to create, to double down on this legacy of prudence and business genius and acumen by selling us to people who didn't do us any favours. But he's not had the chance to do so. Which is, quite frankly, fabulous news. It has to be said. So, we're just waiting for the game to take part, kick off even. I'm very excited to see Xavi today, I have to tell you. I'm very excited to see him today. I think we could be in for something special. I think he lost his way a little bit, but I'll just be delighted. Tell, weak link in the pack. I'm pleased with seeing him play. Clearly, Frank is of a mind that he's had the knockback of being cut from the Champions League thing, which again was another thing the Lewises were apparently wanting to address, was the fact that we didn't have enough homegrown players to operate. But as Jazz Fusion there says, who starts up top? Well, it looks to me like there's very few options because there's nobody there. Where the hell is this? This fucking live stat keeps on hiding. So who plays up top? Well, the attacking players we've got are Xavi, Kudus, and you know, Porro's going to be in the mix, but we've got Tell, Xavi, and Kudus as the three likely front runners. So it strikes me that West Ham away isn't going to be the easiest game for anybody to face today, and it's going to be a very flexible thing with like maybe 4 or 5 swapping midfield to attack, midfield to defence. With these guys going in on the break, I don't know. But yeah, Postecoglou today, absolute disaster. He's got an injured player, which he says is nothing, but as we know, his understanding of football isn't particularly informed at the best of time. There's a great one there. Will Chris B be taking on the ICF today? I would imagine he'll be handing out his own personal business card in his backless chaps and his Cuban-heeled cowboy boots, which he unfortunately bought dozens of pairs of whilst in the United States of America, bless him. So yeah, I think we're going to see, hopefully, a masterclass of Frank's tactical worth here, with a fair amount of flexibility. There's players there that can get involved in the attack. Bergval, Porro, Spence coming up on the wings and so forth. But when it comes to front men, target men, we are thin. We are very thin. But Kudus and Xavi have shown previously that they can do very well. Xavi's reputation in Europe was far better than I thought it was initially. Tell needs to show us something today, and as I was saying to you, I think he's got the knockback with the Champions League, and Frank has said to him, look, show me what you can do. I just hope he doesn't step in it personally. Yeah, all things filmed, 2 injuries already, he's only been there 3 days. Yeah, but all they're getting, and this is brought to you unofficially in partnership with Red Stripe, because it's all like a grab from the off licence on the way up the road, and it was tipping down. But yeah, this is what Forest are going to get. This is what we're going to get with him. he's not going to improve their lot. He's an absolute shite hawk of a coach, and he doesn't coach. And I think it's quite telling. Somebody made the point about, oh, but wasn't Matt Wells part of the set-up under Ange? Yeah, and he didn't follow him. He didn't go to Forest, and I think that speaks volumes. I think his CV has improved enormously. Well, Chris B is actually one of the funniest guys in Europe. That's the reality, Dale. That's the reality. Can we ship Tell out in January? Highly unlikely, unless he does some good. If he doesn't do some good, we're in trouble, because we've lumped out money for it, and I've been saying it all along because I don't care, and nobody else has been saying it because they're all little good boys and girls. And you heard the quality of the questions Frank was having to answer in the press room there. I think this was a spin, that Levy did a deal that looked better. The optics looked better than they truly were. And we didn't get as much for Harry Kane as we announced we did. I think you can knock 30 million quid off that bill. What we got here from Jazz Fusion. Hooray, Beard. Just have to make it harder for West to hook off a singular attacking threat. Yeah, he's going to run those players into the ground. The only thing we've got going for us here is Graham Potter is having an absolute stinker, and he's now rivaling Ange to be the first manager to be sacked or relegated. So, you know, these are the upsides. So all you crazy boss-eyed Australians that were watching highlights, you try and tell me something. Give me a single positive out of them getting smashed 3-0 by Arsenal. You're just making it up. You're just inventing it. Absolute shameful. Ooh, that's nice. I've not had one of those for a long time. Since this morning. No, Red Stripe it's not. Where do you get it these days? It's a bit of a Holston, isn't it? So just talking to Graham Potter, who's taking a very stoic view of the world, doing a little bit of that with his head. I think he knows he's on borrowed time. Somebody was saying about the Ian afternoon watch along. Ian S, afternoon H, hope you're well. Here for my first watch along with you. Guys, even though we haven't won there for 5 years, is it true? Is that the case? Christ almighty. Stats like that, they're interesting enough to be wheeled out on TV, but I don't think real fans care about all that, do you? Russell Knights found the positive. It wasn't 4-0. Yeah, well that's it. All things film. Everybody suddenly becomes an Ange Postecoglou fan. They infest the game, and they sit around. Bless them. They're watching. Bring back the Japanese whiskey. But no, not in a hurry. I had that again a couple of nights afterwards, and that was very, very bad. That T-shirt is still in the washing machine. But yeah, the deal with the Australian fans is that they're not very bright. They're not very nice. Who'd have thought it? But as I said to you at the time, I didn't buy into the whole Australian thing the first time around when we had Kylie Minogue and all that gang. I wasn't charmed by them. I've got the volume on so low I don't get busted for broadcasting the game, but anything Jamie Redknapp has to say is going to be completely and utterly disingenuous. 19 minutes past the hour, 11 minutes until we kick off. This is going to be a tight game according to the bookies. Anybody want to tell me what the score might be? Now's your chance. I mean, you can tell me what the score will be during the game, but the odds of you winning a prize are even less. All things film. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put the link at half time. I'll put the link to the Substack in the description of this, and you just click through, give me your email address. And in fact, I'll gift anybody that wants to join the Substack that's watching this today, I'll gift you 6 months. So you get 6 months for free. And see how you get on. I think it's ridiculously cheap. And it's a good crowd there. There's people that have been with me for years. And thankfully they've lived long enough to see Daniel Levy go, and for I say most everything I've been saying about them, Enoch and so forth. Gosh, this Jamaican stuff is rather fizzy. Come to fruition. Not nice people. Red One Rashid, what's up? Welcome to the UK office. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Negroni. It's going to be very, very, very amusing, because it's watching what we had to suffer, but it won't be us. And I know that may sound painfully obvious, but the idea that we don't have to suffer him firsthand is going to be an absolute delight. Hi Patrick, hope you're well. Jazz Fusion's going 1-2, 2-1 to us. Just a red strip. Yes, Stella's gone down the pan, hasn't it? It's the whole wokery thing. I mean, I would never condone domestic violence under any circumstances, but why? Because what they haven't worked out is it alters the taste. And Stella used to have a very distinctive taste, and now it tastes like a Stella from Timu, perhaps. Yeah, Korean fans, absolutely going to be become a minority. That's a given. And I don't think, you see, this is the contempt that Daniel Levy has always had for football, not just Spurs, but for football. And he's snapped up this kid for £5 million, you know, King of the J League or something. Yes, it is like dishwater, absolutely rubbish. But the Koreans and their spend, and I know I've said this sort of anecdotal thing before, but I was on the underground, gosh, that was quite a while ago. That might have been it might have been last Christmas. And yeah, it was. I think it might have even been Boxing Day or something. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. But there were two lads and they had 2 carrier bags each. They must have had 300 quid's worth of gear with them. And anybody selling merch can't take that kind of hit going the wrong way. Just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. See if there's anything breaking. Right, so according to, because the club have started doing this thing, which again I understand but I don't like, is that they've now given us the team sheet as it's part of the merchandise offer, you know, with all the names and everything, and it's got nothing to do with what a team sheet looks like. But when you see it put out here, and I've got it on the laptop, you're looking at Tel as a striker, Xavi in the old Sonny position on the left, Mohamed Kudus on the right, which makes a lot of sense. Papa Sarr left to midfield, Lucas Bergvall right midfield, Raul Palina steadfastly in the middle, a sweeper role there, and then left to right, Jed Spence, Mickey van der Ven, Guti Moreira, Pedro Porro, and Lafayette in goal. Yes, nice beard, and I'm also wearing very tight trousers, Max Power. Thanks for sharing that with us. Did you not know I had a beard? I see it every morning in the mirror. Oh yeah, that was what I was going to tell you. Somebody was saying that Kudus might get a bit of stick for obviously bailing on the Hammers and joining Spurs. And I noticed one wag on X commented, well, it's okay, the fans are so far away from him, he won't hear whatever they say anyway. And I absolutely couldn't agree more. Dreadful bloody stadium. Dreadful stadium. And one of the real problems with the stadium, of course, is they're going to have to replace a whole load of stuff as they go along. Because it wasn't built to last. It was built, it's effectively a prefab. First defeat of 22 for the Aussie Oaf FC, spot on. Harvey Fuqua, I see a loss to West Ham. I think you can see into the future, mate, to be blunt. And just to fill you in, the first team I ever saw Spurs play against was West Ham at the Old Lane. And my dad took me to see Bill Nicholson's testimonial against West Ham United, and they did a West Ham Old Boys 11 and Spurs Old Boys 11 before the game, which was interesting. And London, great to see you, Ange, doing a split screen over here, live from LA, 9:30 a.m. kickoff. Well, I hope you've got something in front of you that isn't going to leave you paralysed for the afternoon. Right, teams are in the tunnel, and for those of you split screening it, you'll be aware of that. The bubbles are out. Dear God. Yep, Moani, stick him on the bench, absolute. Mason Newman, come on you gummers. Who is this Mason Newman, guys? Anybody heard of him? No. Hello, mate. Frank said he wasn't ready. No, of course he wasn't ready. He should have stayed on the fucking aircraft. Yeah, Walker Peters. Yeah, prediction, Patrick, I honestly think it'll be... I tell you what, my heart of hearts, because I hate this lot more than anybody else, more than Arsenal, and that's down to me. I want us to win by a single goal minimum, but I'm just seeing Xavi there, Simmons, and I'd like to see Simons, as they actually pronounce it in the original Dutch. But I'd like to see him smash a couple home. Genuinely would. Ah, there we go, Jake Aman Shah. It's 1:30 in the morning there in Korea. Good morning, sir. So yeah, that's me. That's me. I would say win by a single goal, bare minimum. A loss isn't acceptable under any circumstances. But I think we've got more about us. And looking at the way Frank's set up, this has got to be something whereby we can outwit them. Free Plasticine. Oh, free Palestine. That's great news, mate. We'll get rid of you, you little nitwit. I'll tell you what, I can't free Palestine, but I'll give you some free plaster soon, you mental patient. I love the fact that you've singled me out for that, because it's these views that make me sleep at night. So, you know, thanks for acknowledging that I'm on the right side of history, you mug. Yeah, that's the point, Super J. Will Flappy keep a clean sheet? I keep on hearing people say, oh, he's a great shot stopper, he's a great shot stopper. I don't care. It could be he's a great flower arranger. I want him to be less of a nitwit. Call me old-fashioned. Wow, Chelsea scored 5 and out. And that was with most of their people campaigning for the overthrow of democracy. Boom, boom. Yeah, I didn't go to the thing today. Lots of friends have gone. I think it's hilarious, though, BBC saying there's upwards of 25,000. clearly never been to a football match, otherwise they would know what 25,000 people looks like. Tottenham till I die. I'm pretty well. I would say that I'm pretty well. Yeah, need a keeper in January. I mean, I hope nothing awful happens with this guy, because I think we've got our boys at the back lined up sufficiently. But I just don't like him, and I know I've said this repeatedly. I don't care to hear his voice. He's a boy, and we need to be led by men. And there we have it. There we have it in one picture. Tell hanging off of Vicario's words. Where's the captain? Where's the captain? That was another political appointment. I've not watched these huddles before because I think they're pointless and just propaganda. But why is this Italian child having anything to do with revving the team up? Yeah, Finn, it does look a little light. And I'm not going to defend myself into oblivion, but I'm hopeful. There we go, long ball. We need to see these being played accurately, and that one went to somebody in a West Ham shirt. But I'm hopeful that Frank's tactics can afford us a bit of wiggle room. Paul, what's up with Paul Rowland there? What's up with Graham Roberts? Did he fall over picking up a gram of cocaine off the floor or something? Could be a long way down at our age. No, Donage. You say what? So you turn away when the huddle is going on? Yeah, because it's to me, and I'm going to use language people don't like. It's just blatant puffery. What is the point? You do that in the changing room. This is a spin for the crowd. This is like the lion tamer coming out and cracking his whip, waving the chair around in front of the audience when there's no animal in front of him. My point, which I think I made, why is Vicario, who is a child, revving up the team? I don't want to see him anywhere near that. Yeah, Johnson over Tell. Tell just doesn't have any technical skills. That's the real problem with him. Well, Alan Harris, do we have an under-16 fit? Well, that's a very good question. Matt Law was saying that they need more homegrown players. The truth is, you scratch the surface of the academy and there's nothing there. Who's come through in recent years? Everybody gets loaned out to death and then they eventually just fall off at the end of the conveyor belt. He does have speed, but we need a little bit more than that, I think. I don't think that's unkind. Yeah, Scala, I'd have played him, 100% Scala, and I keep on forgetting his name, but that Blackhead that scored for us in the Cup, wasn't it? Why is Somerville wearing gloves? A lot of these guys have taken to do it, and Spencer's got this bandijo on his hand as well, which is obviously the latest thing in his community. I just don't get it. But clubs want to indulge them, good luck to them. So we're playing with two in the back, and then four across the midfield, and the rest up front. So it's a 4-4-2 in reverse. Might be able to put that thing in there actually. So okay. So 4 minutes in, and this is the third time that we're building from the back with the passing from Flapalot to his trusty duo. Yeah, the whole board is there. It's just great not to see Baldy there, I have to say. Right, I've put the address, my email address, so haroldofhotspur@gmail.com into it's the top of the description. So if you want 6 months for free of the Substack, which is super duper, just ping me an email and I'll sign you up this afternoon or tonight. Well, Basuma hasn't been sold because he couldn't pass his flipping medical when they were trying to get him off. I can't remember if he got on the plane and went to Turkey or he was having the medical done remotely, but he couldn't pass the medical. The guy's completely... I'm not sure if that's Lewis's daughter or granddaughter at this stage, but I think one of them's Vivian, and is it Vivian and Charlotte? But they're certainly very close. Yeah, so if you want 6 months for free, I'll do that for you this afternoon. But I'll leave it on there and just ping me an email and get you signed up. West Ham, I have to say, sitting in the final third. They're not achieving anything at the moment. And Walker Peters jogging around like the little hurt soldier that he is. The yards, the miles of wasted copy there was on speculation, him going back to Spurs. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't terrible, just wasn't good enough. Kudus getting a friendly from the West Ham fans. Yeah, West Ham aren't any good. I mean, I can't stand them, but that's by the by, really. Right, let's see what he can do. So it appears to be the tactic. Kudus beats his man, and the ball goes out for a corner. Appears to be the tactic to try and flood the midfield, but I think this is going to be another one of those ones like we had against Manchester City, where we don't have the ball, we don't do much with the ball, but when we do break, hopefully it counts. Somebody used to put on the Substack there, Jolos with tits in the stand, just to remind us all that this is a dirty, dirty game just for men. Here we go, Kudus has got the ball inside the penalty area. He's trying to do a Ricky Villa. Ball flipped in, no. I can only say, on the few bits we've had in 9.5 minutes, we do look a little bit classier. What's it say on the paper? That's a canvas, and it says nude girls. This one is dirty deeds done dirt cheap. It says on the it says on the typewriter paper. Yeah, dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Yeah, Levy did want us there, and he wanted us there because it was a great geographical location, but he also wanted us there because he hates football. Doesn't like football at all, hates football people. It's in the description, mate, in the YouTube, on this thing where it's got all the blurb with the cut and paste from the BBC. Somebody driving it like they stole it out there. God, this is boring. I mean, I hope we win, but this is not fun. Vicario with the ball at his feet doesn't instill anything but fear. Jed Spence giving it large after his England debut. Yeah, cheers Prima Italia, it is in the description. I've just added it. I mean, Sar's leaping around there, heading off onto the right wing. Who's in midfield? There's a big gap in the middle. I think you're right, Galdo. I think you're absolutely right. That stadium isn't fit for purpose, and the reason I say that is because that was an Olympic stadium, and they're not designed with longevity in mind. And I think from that stadium they actually pulled some chairs out, like a bank of chairs, because they needed more chairs for a Commonwealth athletics thing in Glasgow or something. That's how they are. They're like kit cars. Yeah, the TV angle is horrible. But they've only recently, and I understand people have got to feed themselves, but they've only recently got rid of the carpet remnant warehouse thing that made the place look miles away from the pitch, really emphasised the fact. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you're in Glasgow, some of the players may appear a little fuzzy. There's two Indians one of them's trying to sell the other a car out there, and it's an embarrassment to humanity, to be frank. Xavi looks very good, but he isn't finding any through balls yet. I know it's early doors. Mr. C, pleased that your stream is a little bit ahead of mine. Wow. And who's come out to scream at them and go like that with his hand, Sir Flap a lot? This is the problem. This is the problem. It's all very well. We're doing some nice little dinks and moves and covers and blah, blah, blah. But we're not lining ourselves up to get a decent go at anything. That was about 2 foot away from going in. Yeah, Vicario blaming everybody else as usual. It's all that he does. It's all that he has in his locker. Kudos getting booed again. I'm hoping that's going to push him in the right direction. Xavi's showing a lot of the ball there, and he's lost possession. This beer's going down very slowly. I made myself some bang bang Korean carnage and chaos noodles earlier. I'll be lucky if I'm still awake by the time this is over. Oh, I wasn't having a dig, Mr. C, not at all. You could spoil away, but it's, I mean, this is an authentic, original thing, and here come West Ham again. Or there went West Ham, if you're around Mr. C's. Yeah. But this is sly sports. Do you know what I mean? So how can you compete? Depends which satellite your image, your broadcast is being bounced off of, I guess. Yeah, I agree with you. I would have got Donnarumma straight away, and we've got a plethora of keepers that just aren't really very good, or don't have the ambition. And West Ham are their own worst enemies here. I'm not going to say anything hysterical, like we could be 3-0 down, but there's 3 clear opportunities on goal, which they've managed to just fumble a bit. Oh, my shoulders. I'll have to get a dolly in for a foot rub. Oh, dear. Yeah. Edison, again, wages. The trouble is, Levy has clearly been on his own course, as I say, feathering his own nest, wanting to get the sale, wanting him to crunch himself some big bucks under the guise of didn't I do well for the team? But the team were not thinking like that. The team were thinking of doing something for the club. And I keep on saying this increasingly, but I've been saying it since forever. He doesn't like football. He doesn't trust football people. Don't lose sight of the fact that it was Levy that sacked Harry Redknapp over a Zoom call. Presbyterian, I'm stripping a car in the car park. I'm surprised you're actually wearing any clothes in the car park, Presbyterian. I hope you're spending less day in bed today, mate. We have work to do. Right, we've got a corner. Hold on to your hats. Spurs occupying most of the back post and the middle ground, so hopefully it goes up in the air. Yep, it's in. But what's the ref doing? What's the ref doing? The ref looks very, very, very convinced that's not a goal. Pushing and shoving. Oh dear. Don't want any of that. No pushing and shoving, matron. Oh, kudos, and there's some guy who's decided to do the limbo and throw himself on the floor, and making it look as if Romero's the bad guy. And having watched Romero for some time in a Spurs shirt, he's not the bad guy at all in this instance. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, so that was Walker Peters. Beautiful. Well, Frank is on the side looking at the monitor for that's what I think it was a foul on Romero at worst. I'm not actually sure it was a foul, but there was certainly contact, and it all came from the West Ham player. From what I've seen, and I'm only watching the replays. So Frank's sticking it in the fourth official's ear, who appears to be too busy modelling Brill cream. Correct, Rubber Monkey, correct. Do you know something? I would imagine, oh, this could be good news. Tell looks like he's picked up a knock on his leg. Yeah, I can imagine Daniel Levy is probably doing something at an exclusive event today. I always got the feeling that he had to turn up to these things under sufferance. Right, Romero's giving it at least one barrel to the West Ham player with the interesting sort of, used to play rugby ears. Hotspur, leave it at home in his West Ham kit with his West Ham pyjamas and his West Ham slippers on. Motherfucker. Right, West Ham corner, that's coming in low. A bit of a hash of a cross, but they've turned it on goal, and Vicario is there because he's the best boy in the playground. Now, he's pointing at a West Ham player. That's very efficient of him. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Vaughan is in the building and he's swearing profusely. Tony, by the way, for those of you joining us late, if you've watched the Three Amigos, is actually a qualified referee. And Tony says, shocking decision, absolutely shocking. And tune in next week when you hear Miss Piggy's hey. I'm not sure if Tell has touched the ball. I mean, he's having little touches. Tell's shirt number's 20, isn't he? No, 11. So that was Kudus. My apologies. You've got to be careful what you say there. But no, yeah. Oh dear. I was in town earlier, and can anybody answer me this? They were giving away, they're frequently outside the bull ring in the centre of Birmingham, they give away product. Ah, they could have been. It's looking like Van der Ven gave somebody a bit of a free tooth extraction before the cross came in. But I don't think the referee was talking about that, was he? Yeah, Walker Peters is a dirty little person. Yeah, so they frequently give away product, and I particularly like it when they give away iced tea, but they were giving away Red Bull today, and riddle me this, they're reaching into the car, which is also a fridge, pulling the can out, and there's a queue of people, and they go, and hand it to them. Why are they opening it? I wouldn't want somebody handing me a drink that had been opened by somebody's finger, but maybe it's just me. David Coote would have given the goal, says Norman Stanley Fletcher. Stand still, Fletcher. Sheriff, do you want to colonise again? I'm going to give you another chance, Sheriff, and then I'm going to send you back to wherever you came from. And you'd like that, wouldn't you? Some crazy people online. Arsenal would have gotten that goal and people would have praised them for blocking. Yeah, it was a ridiculous decision. There might have been something with Mickey van der Ven, but we'll see in the afters if they give us a precise thing. But it looked very much. What the hell is this? Here to spread some love. Hope your day is as wonderful as you are. Remembering you matter. Are you out of your mind, Caralucci? Oh, I see. Sheriff is a comedian. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, mate. I'm going to send you to Mr. Funny Trousers School. There you go, buddy. Yeah, Sheriff is out. Yeah, but we're going to let him tell his mum first. We don't want to, you know, out him ourselves. Yeah, he's doing a good impression of... I've suddenly realised how far out of my depth in the Premier League I am. And I'd like a vet brought on to put a tarpaulin round me and shoot me. I think on the 25th minute it wouldn't be imprudent to say we could do with a goal before half-time, because every minute the West Ham aren't conceding, they're getting more and more excited. Yeah, Prima Italia. That's what I've been saying. I think this is the Fraser Campbell of the deal, isn't it? Yeah, Super J. Well, that's what Arsenal do, isn't it? And also it was Ange, so you're gonna. Mo Salah the King. There are some very sad people. I mean, I think Mason Newman started it. Paqueta's a great footballer, even. Yeah, no Archie Gray in the squad. Just noticed their comment on X. So, but maybe Tell being out for 6 months with a discombobulated toenail, or even the yeah, the guy Audi making comments about Mo Salah. I'm sending you back to L22, mate. You'll like it up there. Oh, yeah, he's gone. He's gone, and London. It's gone. He's gone to get some free plasticine. What the hell was that? So Xavi Simons passes the ball to nobody. The zip, the vim and the vigour has gone out of this game since the disallowed goal. So I'm getting sinking feelings about the mental strength. Yeah, Tony Vaughan, absolutely spot on. We are too slow. We're too slow. I think what we actually are is we're a little bit bloody hesitant. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, Simmons isn't impressing, but I don't feel that he's truly on the left. I think he's actually rather central. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right. I think there are some jitters going on here, to put it mildly. Ah, so red one says Simmons is a central player. Okay, so maybe this is as good as it gets in terms of his positioning. No, it doesn't. I wouldn't say it's dreadful, but it's just lacking in a bit of tempo and a bit of oomph. Paul Rowland, you might need to speak to somebody. I'm only kidding. Simons reminds me strangely of Macaulay Culkin. Fuck no. Oh, ball win. Nowhere. Yeah, Finley, I don't disagree with you, mate. And also, I thought, as some of you may remember, I thought Richarlison actually had a very good game against Manchester City. So, unless he's picked up another stupid knock. God, toad. So Fernandes of West Ham, he got a dink in the face, but then in his play acting, he was moving and looking through his fingers. Boy's a waste of space. I'm getting rather bored of watching a repeat of this goal not being allowed. Yeah, it was ages before the goal, and unfortunately these replays are ages after the bloody goal. Slags. Super J 3600. Don't forget the referee is an Aussie. Yeah, the referee's hopeless. I mean, what's the point of transporting these people to the other side of the world if they come over here and ruin our national sport? I'd imagine Romero's rather sick of that accent at this stage of his career. Yeah, I don't like Xavi playing where he is, or Shabby, or whatever his name is. I don't like him playing where he is, and I certainly don't care for Tell being on the pitch. Send him back to Ange, Australia. Yeah, I agree with you, Hotspur. I sense that this lot will have an emotional, existential crisis. And if we can get a goal, and we're now moving in on their goal, looks like a corner coming up. But dear me. But the Leicester City game, I was coming very close to throwing my toys at the television. So, you know, Alan Smith. Yeah. Well, there you go. You asked me who was playing up front, and the answer is Papa Matasar. In fact, it wasn't Papa Matasar that got the contact. It was a West Ham defender. So we should have another corner. We have another corner. Come on, Spurs. Get up in here. That's it. Ay. Oh, there's some toothless crone in the auditorium laughing like a drain. Yeah, you're right, Ian S. Nobody's playing up front. Robert, good afternoon, lads. Spurs are very hard to watch. It looks, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Frank looks busy, but I'm not seeing any action. Yeah, I think you had a divine man of the cloth there, Hotspur. What the hell was that? Ooh. The yawn of a man who's actually been working for once in his life. Oh, wonderful goalkeeping from Spazalot there. Yeah, Benny Hill music all round. Absolutely spot on. Dear me. Deflected ball and dear me, a back-headed. Oh dear, who does that? Did his brain fall out before he put his shorts on? Fucking hell. Right, Spurs get the cross in, but it goes into the fucking crowd. Kudus is battling, is the kindest way I can describe it. Please, let's get into this. Yeah, I'm just looking at SofaScore because it's at a glance stuff and everybody else is charging money and everybody's losing money. West Ham goalkeeper, look, he didn't get done for punching somebody in the face there. But sells 6.4 on their general thing. What are we looking at here? 6 touches. This could get thumped in, but it can't. Ground duels is 1-1. Aerial duels, he's lost the ball in the air 5 times. He's won the ball 5 times. Sorry, lost the ball once, possession lost once, was fouled once. Not particularly good though. Passing accuracy of Tell. Anybody want to hazard a guess? Passing accuracy of Tell? 50%. Those are exactly the odds you get tossing a coin. It doesn't change if you get heads 20 times in a row. When you flick it in, you get 50%. That's simply not good enough. I'm sure Xavi got a bit of it there, but anyway, they're not giving it. Right. Oh my God. This is what happens if you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. A can in. Yeah, Xavi's been one of our better players, but dear me. Great work from Bergvall there. Correct, Epic Dream. We are still in this. We're still in this. By the tips of our pubic hair. Yeah, Xavi's doing all right. He is doing all right. But Polina, he's pulling a bit of a stiffy. He is pulling a bit of a stiff one. We're not hearing his name. What's he done, Polina? What have you done, mate? What have you done? 1 accurate long ball. His passing accuracy is at 88%, which is very nice considering that he's away from the back line. Won 4 ground duels, lost 3. I need to read this the right way. It's because I've not used this thing particularly in the past. Ground duels, so there's been 4 and he's won 3 of them. So he's doing all right. but he's only doing all right. I've got a feeling. Well, I was told by our latest source, whose name we cannot mention, but he's a close personal friend of Chris B's. There's very little chance of Paratici coming back. Very little chance. Massive. Fucking hell. Paratici, Daniel Levy, a big personal fan and mate of, if you can believe that. And unless something seismic happens, Lewis family not interested. Yeah, Paqueta is. I agree with you, Red One. I absolutely agree with you. We're very lucky to be getting an easy ride from that guy. Yeah, Levy Purge, Crystal Max, Night of the Long Knives. Yeah, well, Fabrizio Romano, I don't dislike the man. I don't know him at all. I've only spoke to him once, but he's gone down the pan a bit for me. The thing you have to remember as well, this is a lot of ego-driven stuff. I know he gets paid very well for doing sort of Substacky type things in column, but you don't make any money out of social media feeds like that. Not real money. Yeah, this game is regrettably looking a lot like the bookie said it was going to be. Jed Spence Chowling is in a infant school dance class and he's now doing a mime where he's incorporating looking like a squirrel trying to hide its nuts. Yes, Paul Rowland, I do agree with you. Ornstein we hear very little from, generally speaking, but when he does come out and play, he gives us really good stuff, which kind of is routinely not on anybody else's radar. And I noticed, just to throw the extra flavouring into the pot, that when Ornstein made a big call about something the other week, Fabrizio ran with it, and Fabrizio lifted a Paul O'Keefe thing. And didn't credit him either. Didn't credit Ornstein or O'Keefe. But who cares? Who cares? I mean, you know. Right, we've got a corner. Not corner. We've got a free kick here from the corner, but hits the ball nicely. Xavi, has to be said. Unlike that Spurs player who just nearly lost his shoe. Yes, Mr. C, completely blue-balled ourselves in this half. Turgid, need a goal from someone. What we need is a midfield. That's what we really need. Yeah, the ref. It's West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. The referee won. Those are the latest scores. I think I'm going to go for a lie down. You'd never see me again. The problem is not getting up at whatever o'clock of this morning I got up at. The problem is that I had all that food. I'm used to having a bag of crisps after 37 pints, and this just isn't. There's a game not to look forward to. United and City tomorrow in the derby. Be hyped to within an inch of its life by our friends at Sly Sports. Tune in next week when you can hear me moan. Yeah, over on the Substack, Bricktop, Richie on for a more aerial threat. That's how we'll beat him. I don't think he's off the point there at all. Tell isn't quite forward enough. He's supposed to be in our front line. He isn't quite there. Simmons and Spence, good partnership a few weeks later. Good to have a Deji back in. Tell's a bit lost. Not a striker, half injured, not very good at playing football. That comes from Spurs. Couldn't agree more. Everybody's saying he's not. Everybody's saying he's not very good at playing football. Old Tell. Somerville takes another Bronski beating. Yeah, Kudus did have a good half. He didn't quite happen for him, Tony. You're right, but it was hopeful. Ooh, primitive first half. Need more invention. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to argue at all. Mr. C, these crosses are screaming for Richarlison's thick skull. All right from the off licence. Cheers, Keith. But thanks. I mean, get some crunchy if they're crunchy or a topic, something like that. Be quite nice. Yeah, it's in the link. It's in the top of the description, mate. Underneath where it says West Ham Spurs Watchalongadingdong, there's a box called description, and then it says get a free 6 months. Oh, there's no link. You have to email me. If I send you the link, you'll then have to try and shake a deal out of the system. But if you send the email to Sir Harold of Hotspur, hang on, Sir Harold of Hotspur, there's only one at.
Sean here deserves a more comfortable, energy-efficient home.
At G.
So do you. That's why SEAI wants to give a hand.
Tooth.
Real savings are adding up with Super Value. Scan your Real Rewards card or app and make great savings like for just €3 each, fresh Irish stew.
Yeah, so just cut and paste the email, and I'll set you up with free 6 months, no problem. Tell it shite, no one will ever convince me otherwise. Mascot that got lucky. Yeah, he's thanks, Red One. All good. I'll fix it up for you, mate. Yeah, he is shy. I think Frank might be kind of proving a point here, perhaps if not to himself, to those that are excited by Tell because he was involved in that kerfuffle with Ange at Fulham and all this sort of business. No problem, Red One. No problem at all. No, I think hopefully this is the beginning and the end of it. Maybe we can get rid of him in January. Fulham. Gianfranco Zola has got his school shoes on. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Agree more, Chris Black. I think he's being played out of position. Doesn't make a jot of sense to me at all. Doesn't look comfortable there. Half-time changes. I think people are generally screaming for Richarlison, and so that gets rid of the Tell problem simultaneously. I don't know. It's one of those ones where you can almost take off anybody without being dreadfully unkind, you know. No, players playing out of position is fundamentally stupid. You can do it for a part of a game if it's forced on you by injury, but otherwise it takes carelessness into unforgivable territory. Oh right, so they're now saying at half time, courtesy of old Redknapp, that this is down to that goal was disallowed due to Van der Ven's fisticuffs with the lad who was holding his mouth and then looking through his fingers. Absolute moron. Yeah, well, you see, Marianne, I would have actually played Xabi on the left, as it was set up in that thing that I shouted out earlier at the beginning.
Because it's almost if it is being pushed back to Fernandes, like a domino effect. You can see it here. Look at Fernandes, he pushed it into the back, and then that causes that whole discussion effect. Goalkeeper can't get it. Romero then gets out of his head. What's your view, Dan?
Well, I think he's not enough.
You see, that contact on Romero, I'm pointing at something that you can't see and is now no longer on your screens if you were watching it simultaneously. But that foul on Romero should have been a penalty. But I don't know. What do I know? I know I'm fed up with this referee, and to hear that he's Australian doesn't engender any great feelings of affection for him. Oh my dear. The thing you need to remember about all of this business with VAR is that football is a contact sport. It's not an afternoon in a museum. I mean, if you're in a museum admiring something that we stole from the Egyptians or whatever, 800 years ago or whatever, and somebody hoofs you in the small of your back, you need to call the security guard. But if you're playing up, yes, the coked up ref, Coote would do a better job. I think he'd do any job you asked him to at this stage, and may well be opening supermarkets before the week is out. He's just been involved in a unfortunate hard drive incident, hasn't he?
Some moments just can't be beaten, except when you can. Experience of life with Champion Power. Premium event experience.
Pack more into your day with great value at Dome Stores. Like fruit and veg starting from just 49 cents. With low prices on lots more. Pick up the perfect wraps for all your favorite fillings. And grab a light snack to pop into your backpack. And with your 5 off 25 voucher, you can save even more.
Klopp planted the images, I wouldn't be surprised.
I was in pain when hit flying to different countries on a flight. With the pain I was in, it wasn't really an option for me. I googled hospitals in Belfast, Kingsbridge came up.
Public patients in the Republic of Ireland can get rapid access to cross-border
Goodness
surgery
me.
at Kingsbridge private hospitals in Belfast and Derry, with medical costs reimbursed by the HSE. Find out more at kingsbridgeprivatehospital.com/cross-border. Kingsbridge, your fast track to 5-star care.
What's your goal? If it's having the stamina to take on anything, there's a soul car for that. Is it putting your body to the test? There's a soul car for that. Or is it never having to use a filter? There's even a soul bar for that.
I think Bergvall was all right. I think he was all right. I don't think anybody's been outstanding. That's the truth of it. Let's have a look at his numbers.
Reach and clean the impossible with the Starlight Crevice Brush from J&L, the versatile cleaning solution for hard-to-reach areas that your standard cloths and brushes can't clean. Made with thousands of tough, durable bristles, its slim design makes it the perfect cleaning tool to tackle narrow corners, tight spaces, and the hidden crevices in your kitchen, bathroom, and beyond. And with 2.5 Starlight Crevice Brush, only $9.99 from Tesco, Home Store and more. Super value.
Passing accuracy 93% from Lucas Bergvall, which is exceptional. Nothing shy of exceptional.
Fixing Banja's dishwashers.
No accurate crosses, 2 long balls are accurate, 1 successful dribble, 3 ground duels won, 2 out of 4 aerial duels won, possession lost 3 times, but it's been a pretty choppy midfield. I like to see him as a sort of creative, or say off the shoulder of a number 10 type player. Kudus and Romero did have a good game. Hotspur, absolutely right. Dwight Wright, 2 million my arse. Well, I tell you what, mate, I don't know how many people were there, but for me looking at it, I would say there was probably 250,000. I'm not brilliant at these things, I don't profess to be, but there was I've never seen anything like it. Look, let's have it right. I've never seen anything like it. And they've been referring to that Charlie Kirk guy as a far right, this, that and the other. Breaking news, he's a Christian. And if you look at everything he's been saying, he's a Christian. So, you know, I mean, you can call him a banana if you want, but he's not a bloody banana, he's not a piece of fruit. But he was a guy shot in the neck for the same reason another guy was nailed to a bit of plywood back in the day. So there's your problem. Yeah, I think Bergvall's going to be amazing. Did you see, I did a piece on the old boyhotspur.com just before the weekend. They had an interview in The Sun with his former coach, because he came through the same academy as Kulusevski and somebody else whose name escapes me. Good God, they've got old managers doing an advert for Uber Eats and they all look uncomfortable. But he was saying, oh shit, this guy's going to be something else. And I think that's going to be the case. But he's got to be coached right. And under Frank, it's looking a lot more promising. Yeah, that's a good shout. I'd take off Tell, bring on Bentancur, and you can either have Sarr or Bergvall. I'd probably keep Bergvall, but I'd prefer to see Bentancur in the middle. Hopefully half-time will get the changes we need, because something needs to change. And I think tactically, I mean with personnel, bubbles bloody everywhere this lot. Jed Spence not exactly on fire, just to throw that into the mixer. 81% passing accuracy, simply not good enough. 4 inaccurate crosses, 1 accurate long ball, and 0 out of 2 dribble attempts. I mean, any way you slice it, it just isn't good enough. I mean, it's not shocking, but it just isn't good enough. Oh, look, another huddle. That's fantastic news. There was me thinking that we'd be, you know, focused on what Thomas Frank had to say, but no, we've been shouted at by somebody in pidgin English again. Wonderful. When has Andy Gray not been a scabby ball bag? Yeah, I agree with you, Jazz Fusion. I think it's absolutely being played on the wrong side. I'd put Udogie in there, and then I'd shunt him up and flip Xabi onto the left properly, and have a line of 3, with one of them hopefully contributing a bit more to the midfield than we've got going on at the moment. I'm going to get another drink, so hopefully, you know, there won't be a goal, so I've missed the opportunity to go, whee, like some, you know, emotionally stunted moron. Porro too good to be dropped for Spence and less rested for Champions League games. I don't know. I don't like Porro playing at the back. That's my problem. Spence fluffing the cross that shoulda, woulda. But Spence playing a lot further up the pitch. See you in a minute, kids. Oh, there we go, there we go. Papa Sarr, who I was quite happy to substitute, has scored. Hurrah! That red stripe wasn't me doing me any favours at all, so I'm going to switch the bullets in the gun and go for a nice Thatcher's Juicy Apple. For those of you wondering why my can had changed colour. Well, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. That's straight in, off the ropes and into them. We're still in this epic dream. That's a killer ball. They actually have got that. This is the same corner that we've played for all of our corners. High, in swinger, and Papa Sarr's got there, nobody on him, and the last thing to hit before it hit the back of the net was a West Ham's head, and there was another man behind him. Tremendous goal. Textbook goal. As we're short-staffed, I am going to add the other goal myself. So if you're wondering what he's doing, now hopefully this keeps those bitches at bay. Oh, nearly an equaliser. Very close to an equaliser, which I know is me being unkind, but this boy's got some digging to do. Tells half a yard off the pace. Where the Right, well, let's see what West Ham have got about them. 51 minutes we're in. Spence is getting a card here. That's nice. Start thinking about your substitutions, please, Mr. Franck. West Ham ball in, bounced over the goal. Yeah, Polina's invisible. He's wearing an invisibility cloak, Red One. In fact, there he is in no man's land, to the left on the box, with a number 6 shirt on. Very, very peculiar. Oh, red card, West Ham down to 10 men. And they're calling on the physio.
And the concern for Spurs is the injury to the player on the...
Oh, he's gone through his sock. Polina. There we go. We were asking where he was, and now he's shown up.
He's on the stretch. He's not in control of his movement.
That's nasty. And he ran, whether he did it or intentionally or not, but he studs a run down the thing. That's a real shin breaker. Horrible.
So you want to try and get your boot to the ball before
Suke, absolute nitwit.
you don't, and you catch your opponent, there's only one ending to this.
Stop the boats, that's what I say, kids. Shocking. Okay, all the yes. Don't worry. Blue pills will be on the post, and I'll include a fire stick at the same for the same price. No, sort that out for you this afternoon, buddy. 100%. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy it. You should enjoy it because, like I say, the calibre of the scum over there are fantastic. He's apologising, going off, but he's brain damaged. Just go, mate. Everybody's sick of the sight of him. And we got a goal. Bergvall scores. Wonderful. I hope. Yes, thank you, Epic Dream. Yeah, would recommend. Excellent service. Cue in the face. Bergvall scored. This, suddenly it snapped. We were all right. A goal would open the gates to this game. It was quick, fantastic, absolute corker, absolute corker. Big pats on the head from Papasar. Tremendous work, lads, tremendous work.
Chance coming so quickly after the red card. That might well be the nail in the coffin for the home side.
Alan Smith may well be the nail in the coffin. Flipping hope so. Nice little athlete. Great ball by Kuti, absolutely spot on. But this, how young is this guy? How young is he? If you're good enough, you're old enough. Brilliant, absolutely tremendous. Certainly a bit pissed there, but I've had like, what, 2 cans? I'm sure this cider will revive me. I'm shrinking. 10-man West Ham, you love to see a bit of it. Go on, get back in your chicken shops, you itinerant scum. Oh, West Ham fans are leaving, and this is a number of people. He's 12 years old, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Go on, go and sell your pegs up the high road, you daft inbreds. Yeah, the stands in West Ham are thinning out. They've had enough. I can't see them scoring 3, not with 10 men. What do I do? What do I do?
Well, we saw against Chelsea, West Ham heads dropped, and Chelsea just ran right. Can't afford for that to happen again here for their own fans. As jubilant Spurs ones at the moment. Look at us, cheered at every touch. He'll be feeling a little smug himself now.
Oh, it's matter.
Spurs look for a third. Goes towards the
We want 3, we want 3. Polina's moving around. On my command, lads, set fire to the caravans. I'm not quite sure why I got an Australian accent on that, but never. Hotspurs is coming in heavy at the end there, folks. 6-0. Moani on. Oh, that's much better. That red stripe was okay, but I had so many noodles and bang bang chicken wing things. That was probably a schoolboy error. Caravans incoming. Yeah, like the City games, solid, boring, and then going up through the gears. Absolutely LC, spot on, mate. Polina's not had much to do. That's probably another fair comment. In fact, I think let's lead from the front here. I think for the beginning of these games under Frank, I need to just calm myself down a bit, because we do seem to kind of find the rhythm, go up through the gears, click through them a little bit, and that's tremendous. If you've got 3-0, all things film, happy Christmas, happy Christmas. Because that's looking like one of the most likely scores beyond 2-0 or 4-0 at the moment. Yeah, well, Finley, I have to say there, buddy, the deal with the fat Aussie is he wasn't responsible for any signings, and nobody improved on his watch. That's the real problem. I'll be back with you all. I have to put this other goal up, you see. No, Ragwan, I totally agree with you, mate. Dragusin, he's not a top-class defender at all. The Dragon is what he is, but he's a punt. There's a smell of mediocrity about him, you know. Correct, Ian. Fat Ange only used Spence when he had when he had no other option. I'm loving Thin Frank instead. That's what you mean, Robert. I'm loving Thin Frank instead. Right, let's get this go over with. Yeah, I'm just putting here. I think that Bergvall goal was something along the lines of a goal of the month contender. Absolutely insane. Yeah, absolutely prima. Absolutely, he didn't make it easy for him. He's as bigoted and as blinkered as you could possibly want. Bergvall got the ball again. He's kept the possession, and it's in. It's in! Mickey van der Vaart has buried it in the bottom left-hand corner of the goal, but that was all down to Bergvall retaining possession. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. So 3-0. I believe one of us is getting a pizza in. That's tremendous. That's tremendous. And then the camera shoots away to Potter, they're going out in 2s and 3s. It's like the last night of the Ark. But there you go, Bergvall kept the ball and he's just belted it in. Real accurate, clinical, deadly, beautiful finish. Lovely, fantastic. So many static West Ham defenders when he struck that. Just fantastic. Yeah, your house is getting towed. The wheels on your house go round and round. Mugs. Yeah, is Bergvall the real deal for number 10? Well, if he is, he's got to play in that space. But look, what the Spurs board, they're looking rather like serial investors and LinkedIn business types. There's not much emotion going on there. Oh, look, goodness me, he's one of the porn barons there with his over made up dolly. Yeah, Carl Jacobs, you're absolutely spot on. David Sullivan's hair is completely natural if you've dropped a bucket of black paint over your head. But remember, his girlfriend is only with him because of his fantastic personality and looks. Yeah, don't get too near, get too close to her with a lit cigarette. Here we go. This could be the boy we wanted to see. Oh, it's Richie Nadoji. Nadoji put a bit of timber on there, or is that just me? Yeah, the one in between Lang and Viv looks a bit, you know what, doesn't he? Bigfoot and the Hendersons. "67 minutes, double substitutions, and it's looking really, really uphill for the Ammers, the hapless Ammers. Two more goals from FC, says here. 2 more goals gets us top spot in the league. Really? Ooh. Yeah, no injuries and no stupid goals. The lack of injuries thus far is pleasing, and we know why that is. Yeah, crowd thinning out beautifully. Love to think of them sloping off past the chicken shops in their Primark best. Scum. Destiny looks like he's been down the gym. What's that? How do you think we are playing? Stop drinking your beer. Well, I'm actually doing some work, mate, so I wouldn't get too excited about having a beer can as a prop here. This is my 3rd can of beer, and I've been giving you an endless stream of pish and wind about how we're doing. We're winning 3-0, and I hope we get a 4th and go top tonight. Personally, I just come here to watch me drink beer. Don't get me wrong, there won't be any dull moments. Should be paying extra, should be paying for my beer. Are you paying for my beer? I'm not picking a fight with you here, I'm just saying, you know. But I've been talking to you constantly for 81 minutes. And, you know, we're doing very well. There's no need for me to nitpick. In future games, I'm going to take it much easier in the first 20 minutes because I went on about how nervous I was against Manchester City, and that was unfounded. And it's looking like there may be a theme emerging. I hope it is the case. I'm not sure who's gone on, gone off. I shall look for you because otherwise it's terrible of me, isn't it? So I think this proves I can't do two things at once, so we need somebody else. Where the hell is going on with this? Right.
To Brentford tonight, even though Ronaldo is in the starting lineup. Garnacho is on the bench, so also starts.
So, Udogie came on for Spence. Richarlison took Xabi Simon's place, and that's all we've had thus far. Yeah, West Ham are shocking. But what's great is that we've got West Ham, who I hate. Well, not hate, I despise enormously. And Nottingham Forest, who I now suddenly despise enormously for previously mentioned reasons. And we're looking so much better than both of them. And of course, both of them have got clowns for managers. Jerry Cottle FC. Right, it looks like Brennan Johnson is coming on. Excuse me. Yeah, Destiny's beefed up, hasn't he? He's a chunky monkey. And there you go, Super J 3600. I'm here to watch you drink beer, Rage. Bloody right. Spoken like a true man. And he's bought me a pint. He's bought me a pint. This is what we're looking for. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. That's appreciated. Odegaard, Johnson and Danso. Moani not match ready. Spurs playing with a little bit more of an edge, bit more of a, you know what I mean, son, you know? And West Ham, 10 men, and they look to be flagging a little, truth be told. Lots of white shirts suddenly in the West Ham end, and by that I'm referring to their seats. Oh Lord, that nearly went biggity bobbity bing. Right, so that three are looking to come on, and this is great squad management by Frank, I have to say. Great squad management. Yeah, stadium's empty. There's a third drill. It doesn't look good for West Ham at all. And this is the game, this incessant bubble blowing shite that nobody's interested in. Mr. C wouldn't send Tell down the road for a bag of chips. You have that right, I tell you. Yeah, so us, as you probably heard on the on your own televisual set, we've got to wait for the Brentford-Chelsea game before we can start having that sort of temporary crowing business going on. But that's all right. We're not in a hurry, are we? Bergvall coming off. I know this is boring, but this is excellent squad management. Excellent. And he's taking Mickey van der Ven off. They're down to 10 men. If we concede a stupid goal, I'm going to personally travel to London and do something unspeakable to Vicaria. That is tremendous. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Absolutely. He's taking people off. It's like the policeman and the criminal having a laugh after the arrest. It's tremendous. Hotspur, you cannot say that on the BBC. You simply can't say that. It's not. It's verboten. Nichts nein.
Spurs for West Ham as Goodis did get it, but it was nicked away from him.
And of course, I've got their flipping. "10 minutes to go. Anybody's game." Yeah, it has been a long time since we've been this positive, since we've had this much positivity. I think we've been doing really well. This is very much following the same template as the Manchester City game, as I said previously. I can watch this all day, which is me being very polite and saying, well, you know, I could put up with this if I knew the first 20 minutes wasn't indicative of how it's going to pan out. I mean, this is pretty heavy going for, I mean, how bad for business? I mean, this is the thing that hopefully the Lewis family understand, Daniel Levy clearly didn't, is how bad for business is it, is that you're selling all this dream and flannel and toffee, and you've got people walking out the building with 20 minutes to go. Yeah, wouldn't the kudos thing have been great to witness at the West Ham Stadium? I mean, I'm not really into all that sort of thing, as you know, because I can't abide happy people. But yeah, that would be great. Were you there? Were you there to see Kudos do it? No. We went and got some chicken. Yeah, I think Jazz Fusion. I think Danzo's an exceptional deal. I don't think he's the world's greatest defender, but I think he's a pretty bloody excellent footballer. And it's a pleasure seeing him coming on. And I know it sounds like there's a hidden thing, but he's just immensely competent. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's incompetent footballers. And we've had far too many of them. I love the fact that the West Ham coach or assistant coach is talking to Potter as if he could tell him anything that was of any use. Anything at all. West Ham fans looking like they're in a dentist waiting room. Yeah, not a bad shout, Ian. I can see Jose coming back to work his magic. The trouble is though, Manchester United don't have any bloody money, and I'm wondering how the old man would feel about that. But he is the governor. Yeah, Nuno is not a bad shout at all, Super J. Not a bad shout at all. I mean, there's a guy who, I mean, you compare his stats with Ange. I know whip, flog a dead horse and all that. But if you compare his numbers, the data says that he's a pretty much a no-brainer, and he doesn't necessarily need a bundle of cash. I think Jose's as good a fit, but I think the money would really scupper the Portuguese. Big Sam, yeah, get Big Sam off the Just Eat ads and get him down to Mickey the Mouser. Oh, that's charming. We're living in central Birmingham. This guy pulls up with a vroom of his car and he's now relieving himself against the wall of the car park in his own headlights. Beautiful. A white gentleman, before anybody makes any comments. It's getting pretty close to the point where the fans that are still left in this stadium at full time will receive some sort of token financial gesture from the club. You know, 80p off your next coffee or so forth. And Frank is still bending the ear of the fourth official, whereas Graham Potter cuts a somewhat lonely figure because nobody wants to speak to him. Fortunately, I wasn't able to see what colour his urine was, and I'm far enough away that I wasn't getting a smell of popcorn, so hopefully he is fully hydrated. Yeah, West Ham are just sitting deep now. This is damage limitation 101. It's a bit late for a 101, but Spurs playing at walking pace. Might just want to try and create something, lads. You've got a huge advantage and lots of fresh legs. Ball being fed in, up in the air, nobody there. Airbenders, yeah, you've got to watch them. You've got to watch them. Like I say, I was far too far away to give a truly accurate description of what was going on against the wall. And it had been raining earlier as well. So, yeah, Udogie looks like he's been on... I don't mean been on the candy bars, but he looks like a guy who's been eating out. He looks like a guy who's been chomping down on the old protein and whey canisters you see in the windows of those weightlifting shops. Vicario in the middle of the park. Crow, sharp. Quality of you people.
Started the scoring off for Tottenham. From Oliver here to Destiny Adobe. Spurs fans urging their team to get a fourth. Rejoin his teammates with a cross cleared from that by Juve. Just need to keep it tight and not let the situation get any worse. Here's Magassa. Walker Peters. This is going. Signal to spirits. It was a really wonderful job.
Just so you're hearing it first, we're going to do the podcast tomorrow between 2 and 3. They've changed the system on the thing. It uploads very quickly now, so we should be out by about 3:30. In fact, we might do a live one. And when I say tomorrow, of course, I mean Monday. Yeah, I think a live one with a chat would be superb. Let's do that. Let's do that. See, I knew there was a reason for doing these things. It's good to talk. Danny Dyer, if he is thinking, it'll probably be for the first time in his life. Brennan Johnson kind of outfoxing his man. Axel, thoughts on Tao? We've been discussing him all game, mate. I don't think he's very good at playing football. Perineum care. Yeah, it's a perineum special. And we're going to have to break it. Oh! Oh! You see, that's what a fan looks like. None of this screaming fam at the scream. That nearly went in by Kudus. What a pity. Johnson missed from an inch. That's what his girlfriend said. Ball goes in. Oof. Oh, yeah, Johnson actually was being a little bit of a sugar plum fairy on that one. No problem, Axel, at all. No problem at all. No, he just is off the pace, and we're seeing him played against West Ham, and I just don't know what to say. I think I said earlier, all good. I think earlier I was saying that to me it was a Daniel Levy device to bring the bill down for Bayern Munich, so we could get the big headline. But no good. Blood clot indeed. Of course, I wouldn't know what such things mean.
He did have a difficult start actually as Brentford lost. They stuck with him through that. He only won one of his first 10 matches. It took his third season for him to get them promoted, but he's obviously a big hero there. 6 of his 9 derbies against those two at Brentford, and we lost all 8 in the Premier League against them. It's sad that he was setting aside all off-field developments to focus with lots in front of him. Certainly been focused today, his team. Fullback by Johnson. Chance for Kudus.
Ooh, Kudus has had another go, and alas, to no avail. Ray Winstone, absolutely, and he is a Hammers fan. Ray Winstone is a Hammers fan. I only say this, I know it's public knowledge, but I met him when I was living in Dublin, and he was sat outside a bar. He was doing a rap party for one of these sort of Arthurian legend things, Arthur, and I let down my guard and did the old, I don't normally do this, but I'm so far from home, and he was saying, I hope you don't get raped like like we have, because obviously they'd lost Rio Ferdinand, they'd lost Jermaine Defoe, and all that. Oh, he said. 5 minutes of additional time. We're 93.5 minutes in.
With the in-swinger, which did get the flick from Tony, who was never dangerous. Who's been the outstanding player for you, Alan?
Been a few in there. I think Kudus has been excellent against his old team, but Bergvall has got such a promising future ahead of him, such energy, loves to get on the end of things, all over that pitch today.
Up the dubs indeed, Carl, up the dubs indeed. I had many happy years living in South County Dublin, made some good friends. That's it, that's all she wrote. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some player ratings, and I'll pop them on the .com or the Substack or something. I'll do that a little bit later, because I think it's great when you're getting WhatsApp messages from people you can know and trust. I'm biased, you in plank. Nice, thank you very much. So yeah, another one I enjoyed enormously. Thank you very much. And the numbers look good. Always a joy, absolute joy beating bloody West Ham. Total bunch of parasitic nobodies. Spurs are absolutely fantastic. Yes, it is Joe Lewis's daughter next to Vinay. It might be his granddaughter. I'm not at all sure. Cheers, Mikey, whatever it is, that's tremendous. Yeah, Luca's man of the match by country mile, I would say. But beating West Ham, Graham Potter needs to go away, have a long think about things, as our mothers might have told us. But thanks for the pint, and thanks for the company. And I'm going to cheers, Chris. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'm feeling slightly revived after my thing. Cheers, cheers, and I'll get round to doing this, the add-ons for the subscriptions a little bit later, so you have it tonight. All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks, Marianne, much appreciated. And you, Hodge, mate, and you, up the Spurs. Cheers, Jazz Fusion. Cheers, all the best, Flanners. Cheers, mate.
To be honest, I think sending off made it even more difficult. He said they started very well from the first.
Cheers, Paul. Nice one. I'll see you again soon, buddy. See you very soon.
And then sending off created a situation where
What that result means for Tottenham is they take
If I can work out how to switch this off.
at this very early stage.
I'll probably do it here.
They are joint top of the
Cheers, Carl. All